5 signs you're dealing with a narcissist. Have you ever been in a relationship, romantic, friendship, or even family, where you constantly felt like something was off? Like no matter how much you gave, it was never enough. Like you were always walking on eggshells, always second-guessing yourself, always exhausted in ways you couldn't even explain to other people. You might be dealing with a narcissist. And the scary part? It doesn't start that way. It never does. In the beginning, they're usually the most charming, attentive, exciting person you've ever met. That's what makes it so confusing later. That's what makes you stay longer than you should. Today we're breaking down 5 signs you're dealing with a narcissist, and we're going beyond the basics. Because surface-level advice isn't enough when you're living it. Sign number 1. Everything is always about them, and your world slowly disappears. It starts subtly. You're talking about something that matters to you, and somehow, without you even noticing, the conversation shifts. Suddenly it's about their day, their stress, their opinions. Your feelings get a brief moment, and then they're gone. For example, you come home genuinely excited about a promotion at work. Something you worked hard for. Something that matters to you deeply. You start telling them, and they say, "That's cool," flatly, with zero energy. And within 30 seconds they're telling you about an argument they had with a coworker. Your moment is over before it even started. And this isn't a one-time thing. This is every time. Big moments, small moments, it doesn't matter. If the spotlight isn't on them, they find a way to pull it back. Over time you stop sharing things. Not because you don't want to, but because you've learned it won't go anywhere. You've been quietly trained to make yourself smaller so there's more room for them. Sign number 2. They make you question your own reality. And it works. This is called gaslighting, and it is one of the most psychologically damaging things a person can do to another. It's not just disagreeing with you. It's systematically making you doubt your own memory, your own perception, your own sanity. For example, they say something cutting and cruel at dinner, maybe in front of other people. It stings. You bring it up later, calmly, because you want to talk about it. And they look at you like you've completely lost your mind. "I never said that." You're remembering it wrong. You always do this. You twist things and then make me the bad guy. And somehow, incredibly, you end up being the one who apologizes. You walk away feeling confused, guilty, and questioning whether you can even trust your own memory anymore. That confusion is not an accident. A narcissist thrives when you don't trust yourself, because a woman who doubts herself is easier to control. The more they can make you question your reality, the more dependent you become on their version of events. And that is exactly where they want you. Sign number 3. They cycle between love and coldness, and it's completely intentional. One day you are everything to them. They're attentive, warm, romantic, making you feel like the most special woman in the world. And then without warning, they switch. They go cold, distant, critical, sometimes cruel. And you have no idea what you did wrong. For example, they plan something beautiful for your birthday. Flowers, dinner, the whole thing. They tell you you're everything to them, that they've never felt this way about anyone. You feel safe, loved, chosen. Then 3 days later, they're barely responding to your messages. When you ask what's wrong, they say, "Nothing," with a tone that makes it clear something is very wrong. You spend hours going over every interaction trying to figure out what you did. You haven't done anything. But now your entire emotional energy is focused on getting back to the good version of them. Psychologists call this hot and cold behavior intermittent reinforcement. It's actually the same psychological mechanism used in gambling. The unpredictable reward is more addictive than a consistent one. When someone is sometimes warm and sometimes cold, your brain becomes obsessed with earning the warmth back. It's not weakness. It's biology being exploited. Sign number 4. They have zero accountability, and every argument ends with you feeling like the problem. A narcissist cannot genuinely take responsibility for their actions. Not because they don't know what they did, but because their ego simply cannot survive being wrong. So instead of owning their mistakes, they deflect, minimize, blame shift, and sometimes even turn the entire situation around on you so skillfully that you forget what you were even upset about in the first place. For example, they completely forget something important you had planned together. A dinner, an event, something you mentioned multiple times. When you bring it up, hurt and frustrated, they don't apologize. They say, "Well, you know how stressed I've been. You never remind me properly. Maybe if you were clearer about what you needed, this wouldn't happen." Suddenly you're defending yourself for being upset about something they did. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern. And it repeats itself every single time something goes wrong. Living with someone who has no accountability is exhausting in a very specific way. Because you never get resolution. You never get a genuine sorry. You just get more confusion, more self-doubt, and more of your emotional energy spent trying to make sense of something that was never meant to make sense. Sign number 5. You feel like you've completely lost yourself, and you can't pinpoint exactly when it happened. This is perhaps the most heartbreaking sign of all. Because it's so gradual you don't see it happening. There's no single moment you can point to. Just a slow erosion of who you were before this person entered your life. For example, you used to have opinions you expressed freely. You had friends you saw regularly. Hobbies that lit you up. A sense of humor. Dreams you talked about openly. Now you edit everything before you say it. You cancel plans because it's easier than dealing with their reaction. You've stopped talking about your goals because they have a way of making you feel foolish for having them. You ask yourself, how will they feel about this, before making even the smallest decision about your own life. And the worst part is, when people on the outside ask if you're okay, you say yes. Because from the outside, nothing looks obviously wrong. There are no visible bruises. But on the inside, you barely recognize yourself. The woman you used to be feels very far away. And you miss her. Even if you can't fully articulate why. That feeling of losing yourself is not small. It is one of the most significant things a toxic relationship takes from you. And recognizing it is the first step to getting it back. Now here are your takeaways. Because awareness without direction isn't enough. Takeaway 1. Narcissists rarely look like the villain from the start. They are often the most magnetic, charming, loving person you've ever encountered in the beginning. That early version of them is what keeps you holding on long after things have gotten painful. But that version was a performance, not the real person. Takeaway 2. If you consistently feel confused, drained, guilty, or like you are always the problem in the relationship, trust that feeling. Healthy relationships don't make you feel that way. Confusion and self-doubt are not signs of a complicated love. They are signs of manipulation. Takeaway 3. You cannot love a narcissist into changing. You cannot be patient enough, understanding enough, or good enough to fix what is fundamentally a deep psychological pattern in them. Trying to do so will only cost you more of yourself. That is not giving up. That is understanding the reality of what you're dealing with. Takeaway 4. Healing from a narcissistic relationship takes time. And it's not linear. There will be days you miss them. Days you question whether it was really that bad. That's normal. It doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. It means you are attached to something that was designed to be hard to leave. And takeaway 5. You deserve to be in relationships. Romantic, friendships, family. Where you feel consistently safe, valued, and free to be fully yourself. Not relationships where love feels like something you have to constantly earn. Not relationships where peace only lasts until the next cycle begins. You are not too sensitive. You are not too much. You are simply in the wrong dynamic. And knowing that changes everything. If this video resonated with you, save it. Share it with someone who might need it. And follow for more content on psychology, relationships, and understanding the people around you. You found this for a reason.